Falcon Finance. As you can see, this project here is going up crazy right now, literally up 55% in the last 24 hours. And you can look over here, 57% in the last 7 days. So it's doing some big numbers, and we're going to cover this today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's kind of go over this. As you can see, we have $254 million in market cap, while having 179 million inside of trading volume. So a lot of people are trading this thing right now. We got a lot of money locked in it at $1.6 billion. So it's doing fairly well. It's doing fairly well, you know. And if you actually look at it, this thing is also trading within the top gainers here. So it is the second in most gains in the crypto market right now. So it's doing fairly well. As you can see, other coins are pumping a little bit, but not as much. And then not only that, we also have it in the top trending section here on CoinGecko as well. You can see that it's trending alongside of stuff like Pudgy Penguins, World Liberty Financial, Monad Money, Rave DAO, which I'm going to talk about Rave DAO in another video. This thing is going absolutely crazy, literally. But we're going to talk about some of these other coins in other videos. But I really want to talk about this coin because it's doing huge numbers. And also, a member of the channel has suggested this coin. If you guys want to become a member of the channel, go ahead and do that. All you got to do is go to any one of my videos or go to my channel, click join, $9.99 per month. I know it says pesos because I'm in the Philippines right now, but $9.99 per month. And you guys can ask any question. You can ask me to go over any crypto project. So just be like, hey, Marcellus, can you go over this? But all you got to do is become a member. So go ahead and do that. But yeah, let's get straight to it. Because like, look at this, like this is a DeFi project, and there's a reason why everybody is really talking about this project, right? And supposedly they might be getting backed by a certain entity, right? And we'll talk about that soon here, but I kind of want to go over the DeFi project here. So as you can see, you can do some swaps here. You know, they got their whole dashboard. You can see all the money that's locked, the total in their banking, 1.84 billion. Staking vaults, total value 4.52 million. You can see their stablecoin USDF, SUSDF. So you can see they have everything, you know, laid out here perfectly for you. You can look at the transfer, so you can deposit or withdraw money into it. Then you got your swapping mechanisms here, and then you have your earnings where you can do yield farming, right? So you have your classic yields, you have your boosted yields, and then you also have your staking vaults. So they have everything laid out here for you. Like I said, it looks like a pretty solid DeFi project. You know, I've made a video about this before, and the video that I made before was on October 31st, and I was mentioning how we were about to have another pullback, and that's exactly what happened on October 31st. So yeah, I made that video all the way back here on October 31st when it had a little bit of a breakout upwards, but I had a hunch that I was gonna dump there, and that's exactly what it did the next day. And then it continued to break down, but that's mainly because of Bitcoin, and everything in the crypto market is gonna follow Bitcoin, right? But all in all, I think it's a good project. And what I do see with their project, they hit very low engagement on social media, very low. Well, X, particularly X, they get low engagement, right? 12 likes here, a little bit of views. I guess that doesn't matter right now. But what they're really pushing right now is to get DeFi into banks, right? To get DeFi cryptos into banks, to get stable coins. They're really pushing to be, you know, that project that the banks go to, right? So as you can see here, Swiss is the future of money, of sound money, Swiss made. So as you can see, they're really pushing to get put into that Swiss banking system. So they're really pushing to be, you know, the number one when it comes to stable coins and banks, right? So this is, you know, pretty much what the project's standing for. But I want to show you what some people are saying here. So if you go and look up Falcon on Twitter, right, you see a lot of people are saying, oh, this is a nice pump. But then you got people like this that are saying, don't be the exit liquidity. So this person says that 147% pump is a dead cat bounce. It's a trap designed to lure you in so whales can dump their bags at a better price. After a 90% crash, this green candle is just a fake recovery. Every retail buy order here is a gift for insiders looking to exit. And he says reality. Manipulation, vertical spikes on dead coins equals liquidity hunting. risk. This isn't a moonshot. It's a gamble with a 99% house edge. My choice, I don't play with ghosts. My public experience is 100% focused on Bitcoin and ETH. So this person is pretty much just focused on buying Bitcoin and ETH. They don't really care about all these other altcoins. And I think that that's a bad strategy because there's coins like Solana, there's coins like Cardano, there's coins that are doing good like Zcash. Monad is actually doing decent. So there are other altcoins that are going to do good outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I do kind of agree that this is a liquidity grab for the whales, right? I do believe that this is exit liquidity right here. People are being used as exit liquidity. We're going to talk about the technical analysis here in a second. We're going to go over what I'm seeing right now currently inside of the charts and what I see for the near future for this. But let's kind of go over to some of the other user sentiment as we see here. Now, this is what I was talking about before when I was mentioning how they're being backed pretty much by an entity. That entity is DWF Labs. So this person says how DWF Labs is having fun. No matter how bad the market conditions are, I don't recommend trading pumps like FF. That's pretty much what they're saying. Because when you look into it, you see that they are being pumped right now by DWF Labs. DWF Labs is a Web3 market maker and strategic investor providing capital and liquidity to institutions and builders. So if they're doing that, it could also be thought of that they're also using people as exit liquidity. They're also putting money into projects that have lost a lot of hype, that have lost a lot of finances, and they pump these type of projects. So then they can use the people that look at it and see, oh, it's pumping, I'm going to buy. They can then use those people as exit liquidity. Now, I'm not saying DWF is doing that, but it would actually be a very smart idea for a business like them who provides liquidity to institutional investors and builders to do this. It would be smart because now they're building more liquidity. They're getting more money. It would be smart to use, normies and retail traders as exit liquidity if their whole business model is focused around creating liquidity for institutions, builders, and they're a market maker. They're market makers. Like this is what they do. They literally take your money. So it would be smart to use you as exit liquidity. So when you come over here, they're telling you exactly what they're doing. The gap is the opportunity. The gap is the opportunity, yes, because they bought here, they pushed it up, and now this is the gap from here down to here. This is the opportunity. They want to sell all the way down to the bottom. They want to keep selling and keep selling and keep selling and keep selling until it gets all the way back down. Let it stay flat for a while, buy again and push it, right? And look, we are in a bear market. So everything's going to do bad right now. By the end of this year, we should be into a bull market, right? But I think everything's going to continue to go down for this year. We're going to get random pumps and random spikes like this. Bitcoin's even going up right now. I believe Bitcoin is going through a bull trap as well. But it has pushed out of a certain area that I've been talking about, and it's kind of like hovering around there in this resistance area. It's actually back into this area, and I think it's a bull trap. The percent R trend exhaustion tells us that it's overbought in that area, so it's still a bull trap in my book, and I think that it's going to continue to go down. This was a bull flag, but that bull flag was indeed a bull trap, and I believe it's a bull trap. It broke out to the upside. If it starts breaking down here on Bitcoin, then it's indeed a bull trap. But we'll go more over that on another video. Let's kind of talk more about Falcon Finance, though. Like, I do believe that this is pretty much a false push by the DWF Labs and by market makers like them. They're really using people as collateral. Look, over 25 trillion in collateral, less than 0.5 in on-chain. But yeah, they're pretty much saying like this is what Falcon Finance stands for. Falcon Finance has a good business model. I think they're a good project, but is now the time? I don't think so. I think that they could go down some more. Like even if they do start pumping again, I feel like this is going to be a pump followed by another dump, and it's going to sell off and off and off. Because I mean, it's sitting at a good market cap right now, 254 million market cap. I think as this bear market goes on, it could start dropping alongside Bitcoin and other coins, right? But yeah, I totally agree here that I think that they're artificially pumping up the market. So it would definitely be smart to be careful inside of scenarios like this, right? So Anyways, another person here says, what is the crime pump going on with FF? Looks like a good opportunity needs a short, which, a lot of people are seeing that. But right when you're thinking, oh, I'm a short, they might just start buying it back and pushing it back up. And then they'll short on you up here as you're starting to buy back in. So it's really hard to beat the market makers, right? It's really hard to beat them at their own game that they created. So you got to be extremely careful when you're trading against these people. All right. This person says, if you still have vesting FF that we farmed, this is some scam pump. I'm letting you know in case someone wants to sell. So this person likes Falcon, but they noticed that this pump is an exit liquidity pump, right? They're using people as exit liquidity. They're noticing that this pump is false. And DWF Labs admitted it. They admitted that they did this. They created the pump and they admitted it, right? Over here it says, what just happened to FF? It didn't even take an hour to bounce back up. Looks like they might be cooking up something new behind the scenes. So this person is thinking that something big's about to happen. They said behind the scenes, but the DWF thing isn't really behind the scenes. It's actually in front of everyone's faces. And then the last one here, FF is starting another fake dump. DWF Labs is starting another pump to accumulate short positions. And they did mention that. Then they'll liquidate all the traders and continue pumping the token. Therefore, I recommend opening a long position on this token. Since these guys have a lot of money, they can push FF to $1 per token, 0.14 cents to 0.5 cents. So I do agree that they have a lot of money and they could possibly push this thing up. But my only issue here with that is you don't know when exactly the right time to buy would be for this. So it'd probably be in your best interest to kind of sit back and wait unless you're okay with possibly losing a good amount of money. Because where it was sitting at before this, you can see if it goes back to that level, you're then looking at a 35% drop. So I guess it's not that bad, but I guess, do you want to lose 35% possibly? Or do you want to possibly run this up to 50 cents and make 500%? So I guess the risk reward ratio here is kind of in your favor when you think about it. See this thing going back down to where it was trading at for the longest, which is like 7 cents. You go all the way back down here. Let's look at the monthly here. So yeah, it was trading at 7 cents for the longest time. So maybe it goes down to 7 cents again and you lose 35%. Or maybe it goes up to 50 cents like the last guy was saying, and you end up making 500%, right? Now, who's to say that that even happens or that's even possible right now inside of a bear market that we are in? That would be a pretty risky decision. And when you come back and look at it, this thing has really never reached all the way up there. Well, it does say it hit 77 cents, but that's like on its launch. It was up there at 50 cents. I think this would be I don't know. I don't think that it would be all the way up there at 50 cents anytime soon. But if the DWF Labs that they're talking about has the initiative to push it, then it could possibly go that high. That would put it at a 1.1 billion market cap. The fully diluted value would be much more. But yeah, that would be pretty high. And I don't know. It's hard to say. We're in a bear market right now. These market makers, they're struggling for liquidity. They're literally dumping on people in multiple coins trying to build liquidity. So I would be super careful. I wouldn't be trying to look at it like, oh, risk reward. There's more reward than risk. Yeah, you can lose 35% or make 500, but can you afford to lose 35%? If you're a long-term holder in something like this, then it would make sense if you're a long-term holder. But if you're just looking at this coin like, this is an opportunity, then maybe not. But if you really believe in the project and you want to hold it all the way through the bear market, all the way into the bull market, then it could be a good idea for you if that's your case, right? So let's kind of break down a little bit of the technicals here. This is the percent R trend exhaustion. We are actually seeing that the blue line here, the long-term trend, is kind of coming down here. This white line here is the short-term trend. If these cross and intersect right here, they could both continue downwards, and then that price could continue downwards from there. So also, we could see these both going up at the same time and doing the same thing in reverse. And that's something that does happen a lot with the percent R trend exhaustion. And I can show you the perfect example on Bitcoin. I don't even got to open Bitcoin to know that Bitcoin's doing something similar right now. That's kind of what's happening right now. Bitcoin might kind of create a formation like that. The same thing happened back here, came back halfway down, and then continued up. Same thing happened here. These are kind of how you see bear traps being created in the market with the percent R trend exhaustion, right? So, for example, if this was a bear trap, it would then start to go up here. But then you could have the double top scenario where you're having a bearish signal called the double top caused by another pullback down here. So I wouldn't trust this yet. We don't have enough info for the charts to really make a educated decision on this. The MACD looks like some more buying pressure is starting to come in. So personally, I do think it might have another push up and then a pullback even lower, right? That's kind of how I see this going. Another push followed by a pullback here. But I wouldn't be too excited for this. If you missed this right here, then you don't have much to go off of, because yeah, you can benefit from a little 25% pump possibly, but the risk reward ratio for me personally is not there. All right. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this pump right now with Falcon Finance. And for example, like when you see the percent R trend exhaustion getting up here, that's a bearish signal that you should probably get out. So shout out to the percent R trend exhaustion. And if you don't want to use indicators like that, I have these chart prime indicators that'll pretty much show you your resistance lines for you. As you can see here, it sets up a premium price point all the way up here. And then you have your equilibrium price point in the middle. And then you got your discount price point at the bottom. So if you don't want to do your technical analysis manually, you can use something like Chart Prime. You can check out the link in the description for Chart Prime. Try it risk-free for 7 days. If you want, link in the description. And then we also got the momentum wave bands. Right now, we're at the green momentum wave band, indicating that there could possibly be another pump coming into the market right now for Falcon Finance. So we actually might indeed see another pump coming in. So we'll just have to wait and see. Personally, like I said, I think it's going to be a small pump coming back in, followed by another larger dump. So there's a possibility we can see it come up another 20% just from where it's at now, and then have another pullback. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this. And the percent R trend exhaustion, if this long-term trend starts to curve upwards, we might see the short-term trend come back up and follow it. Right? That's a big if, though. Big if. The MACD, we're starting to see the buying pressure trying to come back in. So we'll see how much buying pressure comes in, and if it's enough to push that thing upwards. And then we'll look at the 30-minute. 30-minute chart shows more selling pressure could come in when you look at it from a longer perspective. And then looking at the 15-minute, we're at the equilibrium price point on that 30-minute for the percent R trend exhaustion. So yeah, I mean, right now, it's best to just sit back, wait, let it do what it does, see if it continues downwards from here. This is the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart definitely looks like it's coming down. So even if we have a temporary push up like this, I believe it's going to be choppy all the way to the way down. As you can see here, it's choppy. Like it goes up there, down, up a little bit, down again, up a little bit, down again. It might do it again. So you might see it chop downwards. That's pretty much how I'm seeing this. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. Hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Shout out to the member of the channel, David, that recommended me to go over this. If you guys want me to go over projects that you want me to go over, just become a member of the channel, join the channel, and just type in anything in the comments. Let me know on any video. The membership's only $9.99 per month. Also, check out the link in the description for Avantis, best trading platform here on the Base chain. Also, it's a DeFi trading platform on Base. You can trade up to 500x leverage. And yeah, you can make a lot of money on Bitcoin. You can do 75x leverage. And yeah, definitely go ahead and check it out. The fees are pretty cheap. And yeah, go check it out through the link I have in the description. And you can get up to 5%, really up to 15% discount. But right now it's at 5%. So go ahead and check it out. The more people that sign up through my link, the larger that discount will be. Eventually, it will be at 15% discount. As people start joining through my link, y'all will get those discounts for your trading fees. All right. So shout out to you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And as always, I'll be back with another video.